Hello, JP here again. And as you know, I do all kinds of little odd jobs and everything. Today, we're going to be taking this shelf off. I put this in yesterday. Customer got a new television and it didn't quite fit on her shelf. So we had to take this piece of wood and screw it on from underneath and then screw up through the bottom of it and into these legs here in order to secure it so it wouldn't fall off here if the wind blew. And what to do today is take this off of here. We're going to paint this black and then we're going to reinstall everything. Okay, now that I got y'all moved in a little closer here, you can see under here how the wood is actually screwed to this metal shelf. And then on the ends here, in these countersunk holes back here, are screws that go up into the legs of the television. We're going to remove those first. Let me slide y'all over just a little bit here. And we'll start with that. And now we're going down here to the other end and repeat the process on the other end. All right, now we can remove this television. Set y'all up here. All right. Be very, very careful not to damage her new outdoor rated Vizio 40-inch TV. Alrighty, now we're going to come under here and remove these screws so we can get the wood off. And there we go, that releases our piece of wood. And we can take this over to our workbench and get it all set up to paint. We'll do that now. Okay, here we are at the workbench all set up. One of those nice, vise type. Put the cardboard down. Here's our piece of wood. We'll paint the bottom of it and then let it dry. Then we'll flip it and do the other side. Alrighty, now we're all set up. We'll be shaking on our paint here while y'all are off camera. Go ahead and get the edges too this time. Just going to do a light coat and then we'll come back and fill it in. Don't want to put it on too heavy, it'll run on you if you put it on too heavy. This rattle can is almost out. Luckily, I brought another one. Oh, I think we have reached the end of that can. Yep. Let me grab the other one real quick. I'm glad I grabbed two. I was really thinking that first one was going to be enough. But I thought, well, no, I better grab another one just to make sure. Alrighty. Whew, it is hot out here today. Now this side doesn't have to be as pretty, you know, because it's going to be facing down. You just want to get it covered, basically. And this is going to dry pretty quick today because it's, like I said, fairly hot out here. So it should dry up in just a couple of minutes time, then we can flip this over and do the other side. But I got something planned for us to do while we're waiting on this to dry. She has some humorous little wall plaques and stuff she'd like to put up. And they're on brick, so we're going to use some of that special double-sided sticky tape, that clear kind that's got the nano particles in it and stuff. Makes it stick to things that normally double-sided sticky tape wouldn't stick to. Now, saying that, good old 3M company invented something years ago called VHB, standing for Very High Bond, and it's got a foam core in the middle of it, and of course it's a double-sided sticky tape, and you know, that stuff is so strong. They actually used it, I believe it was in Dubai, to stick windows in one of those really tall buildings they have there in the desert. But they used it to stick the windows in the frames. And that stuff is actually stronger than riveting those things in. They actually did a test where they riveted them in, and then they put another one beside it with that VHB tape, and then they subjected them to high winds and high temperatures and rain and everything else. And the rivets actually failed, but the VHB never did. So we're going to walk over here now and put those up while we're waiting on this to dry. I'm just going to pick y'all up and move you to shutting you off and resetting. Just bear with me for a second. All right, these are her signs down here that we're going to hang up. They're all kind of neat. Now I might have to pick this curtain up, or the screen here on her brand new gazebo, and put it up out of the way so we can get them on the wall. I did manage to get one up there with some of that tape, but I ran out of tape. So got some fresh tape, and we'll get the rest of these up here. Let me get y'all set over here out the way. Grab my tape and my razor knife. Let's see. There we go. There's my razor knife. All right, we get our screen up here out of the way. And just kind of tuck this in up here. All right, Yeah, these are kind of cute, you know. Well, that double-sided sticky tape is still sticking a little bit. There we go. And I know this where she wants this one is like I think it's right about there. Well, that's where we'll start. Now you can see the stuff I put on here is no bueno. We'll peel that off. And we're going to try this T-Rex Ferociously Strong tape. You can get this at Walmart or online, or I'm sure many other retailers, but that's where I got it. So that's who I'm going to shill for a little bit. Not that they're paying me or anything. Nobody does. Hopefully one day people will pay for me to shill for them. But not yet. But that's where you come in handy here, because I'm going to need y'all to like and subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell for my new videos when they come out. Let me bring y'all down here a little bit. Oh, sorry about that. I'm hoping one strip of this stuff be enough, and I'm going to put 3 on it just to be on the safe side. Now I've got to peel that backing off there, which is for somebody who doesn't have very long fingernails, very hard. So I'm going to use the edge of my little razor knife here. Maybe I can get under there and get it lifted. Yeah, there we go. So I heard a good dad joke the other day. It was my chicken cross the road joke, you know. So why did the chicken cross the road? Well, so he could prove to the possum that it could be done, is what I heard. Every morning when I get up to get my coffee, Alexa, through my little Echo in my kitchen, asks me if I want to hear a joke.
How to help you with that.
And she tells some pretty bad ones. Alrighty, so we got that ready to go. Turn back up here where you can see where I'm going with it. Oh, a little higher there. There we go. She wanted it right about there. So that's where it's going. And it says you're supposed to press and hold on this for like 30 seconds. But these little old tin signs are not very heavy. So I'm hoping that I don't have to stand here for too awful long to do this. Now I did bring a level. Let's see here. She said make sure they were level. And I will say, I got a pretty good eye for hanging stuff. And I usually hit it right on the money. And just so you know, I'd say that's pretty level there, folks. Wouldn't you say that? Not bad for just eyeing it, ain't it? Alrighty. Well, I guess it could be a little more down on the left, now that I look at it. There we go, close enough for government work. All right, now I'll do the next one. That'd be this nice lion drinking wine here. All right, let's peel the stuff that I tried to use before off. And it's me fits here. Oh. All right, got that out of the way. Yeah, I'm all set up. Do it again. Now that one's got a little bit of curl there. Can you see that? Let's see if I can roll that back around for you. Oh no, and I didn't bring any pliers or nothing. Well, just have to stay that way, I guess. All right, let me get it flipped over here. Okay, now we need to take these little feet off. It's on there. Because again, this was designed to be hung with like a nail in a wall. And those little spacers, help. So, taking little spacers off. Set them over here. And we'll put our T-Rex down. I bet I could get away with just one of these. I'm going to try two on this one. Now, that other one was a little bit bigger. So, that's why I put 3 on it. And to tell you the truth, I think 1 would have done, but just try to be on the safe side, I guess. Alrighty. Now, she wanted this one. Just like the other one there, but on the opposite side. So, we're basically a middle finger and a thumb and a half up. A middle finger, thumb and a half, be right there. So just about there, and it's finger over, right about, just a hair higher, right about there. And we'll get our level. Oop, there come the whole curtain down on me. And we are level. Get our curtain tucked back up here. Alrighty, so as you can see, that one is level. Alright, now for the last two. I love these humorous signs, I tell you. Alright, we'll peel the stuff off the back from the failed attempt. Tried command strips and also, oh my word, would you look at that. Now look real close here, folks. You can see what that is. That is a snake, my dear friends. Now, I work on a lot of lawn and garden equipment, and I go traipsing off through the weeds and everything, picking up old dead mowers and riding mowers. And I will say, in this entire year, I have not seen a snake until now. Now, that's what you call a worm snake. They're very common. These little guys are a constrictor. They're not poisonous. And they eat things like crickets and worms and other small invertebrates. Oh, he's still alive. What a shame he stuck to that, because I'm not sure I can get him loose without hurting him, because he stuck pretty good. Well, that sucks, I'm gonna pull this off here, and I'm gonna see if I can get him loose without hurting him, but I really don't think that's gonna be possible, because this is some really sticky shit. Come on, little guy, let's see if we can work you loose. Ooh, careful surgery, careful surgery. No, his skin is just stuck too tight to it. So the best thing I can do is, and I hate to do this, and I'm not going to do it on camera because I know some of y'all get real upset, but I'm just going to go ahead and euthanize him. So I'm going to stop right here, take care of this little problem, and I'll be back. All right, now I know a whole lot of y'all have no problems killing snakes. I don't kill snakes unless they actually threaten me. And that's usually only poisonous snakes, because snakes provide a very important job. They do a very important job in the environment. They take care of a lot of our pests, and even little ones like that, you know. They're eating roaches, wood roaches, and crickets, and all kinds of things that, you know, you don't want in your yard. They'll eat grubs. Now, granted, you want to keep your earthworms, but yeah, for the most part, a live snake is a good snake. Now, for them poor folks down in Florida, I know y'all got all them damn pythons and everything else out there in the Everglades, and yeah, you can kill those, but like my brothers down in Louisiana, they eat what they kill, even snakes. I've seen them do it, and I have had some fried rattlesnake before, and you know, people say it tastes like chicken. No, it don't. It tastes like snake. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but you know, most things taste like what they eat. All right, let's get back to this here. Now, my friends and family that know me, been watching these videos, and they say, why do you talk like that? I said, talk like what? And I said, you know what we're talking about. They say I get this little bit of a redneck accent going on, and maybe I do. I mean, I can speak the King's English if I so choose, but I found that when I'm relaxed, I just talk the way I talk, you know. Now, there's some of these people on here that do these YouTube videos. Pterodactyl, I'm shouting out to you there on your channel. They put on a whole persona. And let me tell you, Mr. Pterodactyl, he does some of the finest small engine repair I've seen on the YouTubes. And his persona is redneck all the way. As you may have heard in my first video, he says things like, instead of saying carburetor, he'll say carburetor. Instead of battery, like most rednecks, he'll say battery. He likes to give out the woohoos when something works right for him. Sound like old Luke and Bo do. Woohoo! You know? And I thought about adopting the character, but I tell you something. I have a lot of different hats that I like to wear, but these cowboy hats, for whatever reason, they tend to talk for themselves sometimes. I put one on. I've got another black one like this, but it's a lot bigger, and it doesn't have this forward point on it. It's just got a crease here. And when I put that one on, for some reason, all of a sudden I become a Texan. Now I'm an Arkansasier. Most of y'all would say Arkansan, but that's not right. If you're from here, you're an Arkansasier. But we hate Texas. Hate them in football, hate them in basketball, hate them. Just hate Texans. But I tell you, I lived there for a little while. Now, there's only one place in Texas I could live, and that's Austin. The rest of them people, especially the ones up in Dallas, well, they can be real uppity. But they're just a little too red of a state. But, you know, Austin's blue as blue as blue. And I enjoyed my time there. All right, she wanted this one right about here. So, I didn't push on that one very long at all, did I? It stuck right on there. And of course, we're going to throw our level up here. Okay, now I need to come down on the right just a hair. Now, my friend told me he didn't think this tape was repositionable. And he said, once you got it on there, it's on there. And I hate to tell you, David, but you're wrong. Shout out to my friend Dave. Good old David. Known that kid for a long time. I call him a kid. He's not a kid. He's in his 40s. But I have known him since he was in high school. Believe it or not, in my early 20s, I was a director of security for a major manufacturing company. And that is kind of where I met him. He He was the stepson of one of the end welders out there. Shout out to my friend Hoot. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but you know, if he does, he does. But they bring David to work with them every morning, and he'd catch a ride to school that way. Because where they lived, the buses didn't run, and it was just easier since this other gentleman was getting off work when Pete was coming to work, just for David to go ahead and ride on in to school with him, because he had to go right by there. So that's how they did that. That's how I met the young man. And David and I have been fast friends for 20 plus years. And I tell you, he's real helpful to me. I take him on these little jobs sometimes. He's more than just a helper. I mean, the guy's got skills. And he does a little bit of everything like I do, but mostly heat and air. But he's also been a world-class cook and cooked with some of the best chefs in town and some of the best restaurants in town. Ooh, it is trying to blow up a storm out here. Y'all hear that outflow boundary come by? And damn, the temperature just dropped like 5 degrees right there. Which means I need to get this finished up and get that paint done before it starts raining on me. Although I am under a covered gazebo here. All right, got that one pulled. Get our level and get y'all aimed at my spot. If you wanted this one, you're right below that one. Get the level set up there. And that looks good. All right, those are all up. Drop the curtain here. Oh, dadgummit, I missed one. I sure did. I missed one. And I based my layout on the number of signs I had. And now I've got to modify what I did. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can stick it down here low. Let's see here. I forgot the frog. All right. Well, let's get this nastiness pulled off the back here. Ooh, there's a little bit of thunder. This hair don't look dark anywhere though. Well, maybe back over to the northeast a hair, which is unusual because our storms usually come in from the southwest. They usually come up from Texas into Arkansas. Not always. I had one that come kind of from the northwest once. A big old tree in the backyard that blew it down. And that tree was so big. Now it sat right in the center of my backyard, but that tree was so big that the top of it was in my neighbor's yard across the front of my house, across the street from me. Completely blocked the street. Hit the house so hard it broke the plumbing in the walls upstairs. And I have an addition on the back of my home. And there's a steel beam that runs the length of the house on that side, because they, basically knocked the whole back wall of the house out. And of course that beam was, hidden in the wall, but it bent that beam almost all the way to the floor. I think it stopped about, they said, like 8 inches from actually hitting the floor. But that tree was huge. They had to bring in this huge 200-ton crane and set up in my neighbor's driveway next door to lift that thing up and get it over the house and out into 3 front yards, mine and my neighbors on both sides, and then cut it up and haul it off. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that'll do. Now let's get some more this T-Rex on here. This stuff works pretty good. All right. Get it peeled here. Kind of the hard part is getting the backing off of it. Well, come on. There we go. And now for the other one. Alrighty. Now, as to where I'm going to put this. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move a meal without me is like, a meal without wine is called breakfast. I think I'm going to move that one up just a little bit and see if I can't get this between the two of them. Oh. Make sure I'm level. Nope, I'm not. Still not working. There we go. Can I sneak this one in here? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. There we go. Now that one doesn't look level, but I assure you it is. Well, now I lied. Hang on. It could just, I know, you know, it's on that brick line there, on that mortar line. You just line it up with the mortar line. That way it looks level. Yeah. Now just here. Yeah. Yeah. How's that look, folks? Look okay? I think it does. I hope she'll be happy with it. Alrighty, let's get back to some painting. I'm gonna pause y'all here for a second and do a couple of things and get set up on the other side. Alright, the paint dried on the other side. Now it's time to paint this side. This is the side that faces up where oh, that's some pretty strong wind. Completely closed up my tripod and everything. Give me just a sec here, folks. Get y'all set back up. Sorry about that. Oh my. Wind was a lot stronger than I was expecting it to be. All right. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hit the edges here again. All right, now we can start on the top. strong wind here. Let me hang on with the tripod. Make sure all y'all stay with me here and don't blow away. Ooh, I'm upwind. Hang on, I need to get upwind. I'm downwind. Tank fume's coming right back in my face. I think about it being windy and being warm. This will dry in no time. And we can get it reinstalled and we will be done. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do have one other little project I need to do while I'm here. I'll show you what it is. On the gate here. On the gate, yeah, you got one of these latches. Well, see the hole here where the lock goes. Now come around here. And you see that? Not even a finger's width back there. The bad thing about that is you can't get a padlock through there. So I've got to notch this out to where you can get a padlock in there. Because right now, she's using this carabiner I gave her. And you can get the carabiner through there. But for whatever reason, when you go to put a padlock through there, there's not enough room. And barely room for that carabiner, to tell you the truth. But I gave her a padlock and we tried it and it didn't work. So I'm not sure exactly yet how I'm going to tackle this problem. I brought some spade bits and some other things. I just need to put a big enough notch back there to get the lock in, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do next. All right, here we go. Now it's right there. I'm gonna try and come at it a little bit of an angle, maybe down just a hair. Alrighty, I've got it that direction. Now we're gonna kind of hog that a little bit the other direction. And you see it? Ooh. Well, there it is. It ain't pretty, but I think we got enough room now, maybe. Yeah, I think we can get this padlock in there now. Like I said, ain't pretty, but it'll work. Alrighty, I'm gonna get you on positator here and see how our wood's doing.
Full length look and feel, and it just looks incredible in a big space. You have this locking system that you can see on it. It was invented in 2000, not just for an easy installation, but also to prevent gaps in the seasons.
So we got a phone call from a customer and they were hot.
All right, you can get it set up here. Got a little crooked there. All right, board is dry, so now we're going to install it. Alrighty, now, let's see. this sets on here exactly on each side. You can give me just a minute. I got to get my measuring tape. And we'll measure here, make sure we got it lined up. So that comes out to 3.5 there. And that comes out to 3.5 there. So it's in the right spot. So now we need to put screws to it. And probably going to end up making new holes because I don't see where the old ones are to line this back up, but that's all right. It won't matter. Now, some of y'all may notice that I'm using 4 washers to each one of these screws, and the reason that is because this screw is just long enough, and you get it in there, it actually come through the back side of the wood here. So to keep that from happening, I've got 4 washers on there so that it doesn't poke up and through. Now we can get our television put back on and screw it down. What I'm doing now is lining these feet back up with the existing holes. So if the screws go into the bottom of these feet here and hold this in place. And of course they're going in these countersunk holes. And I have carefully lined up. Oop, I missed. There we go. Now we're in the hole. And of course we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. And there we go. It is all secure. So that is the end of today's video. If you liked this, just make sure to hit that like button. That helps me get more views. And don't forget to subscribe. And, of course, hit that reminder bell. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a nice day.